Guys, my name is J-Statik and you're watching the Static Session. So in the last episode, we recorded Deep John to recording some vocals on top of a beat that I already had, and just wanted to get an idea of to show you guys how to record vocals, or at least how I record vocals with someone who's a little bit more experienced. And what we're going to do now is just a short little video. I know when people are recording, sometimes you don't know when to hit record. Some people record way in advance, so you get a lot of blank space, some notes of them just, humming, or whether it's breathing or coughing. So we're just going to be cleaning up the vocals and getting it ready for mixing. That's going to be this video right now. So if we turn our attention to the screen right now, what we're going to do is you can see me highlighting some areas in this first little section right here. I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. So I hit record way too early, and on purpose. You hear some of the bleeding. Sorry about that. You hear some of the bleeding. You hear him humming. You hear him talking a little bit. So what we're going to be doing is cutting all this out. Now, when cutting out some of the vocal, some of the unwanted noise, you want to make sure you don't get too far into the vocal, because it can cut out his notes or his words or something. So right now, where I cut it off, this is what it sounds like. But if you hear at the beginning, he goes, and if I did too much because I thought this was maybe unwanted noise, it would then sound like this. And you don't want that either. Well, I mean, you could want that, but you most likely don't. So we want to make sure we get that sound in there. So it's going to... Even this breath pause, which is right here, I don't think we need it. So if you feel like you like the taste of it and you want to, keep it in there because you like that whole breathing noise, keep it in. If not, you're like someone like me who's got reverb and delays on it, you can cut that out. So that's it. So we're good. That part's cut out. We're gonna fade these out. And the reason why I'm using fades on these is there's always a little bit of room tone which is left over while you're recording. So once you get to that point where you got that breath pause or you got some silent space, you're still going to hear, whether it's a little bit of bleeding from the headphones to just the air in the room. So what I would do is just get rid of that. You don't need it. Fade it out, nicely goes out, and you're good to go. And yeah, continue the same process for the entire other section of the vocals. And obviously, that's not a vocal. So we're going to be getting rid of that, getting rid of this. And I am a little bit quick on this. I've just gotten used to doing it. The good thing with this is it's non-destructive. And non-destructive means you're able to make changes to those layers themselves, and they won't actually affect the vocal. So it won't be destructive. But if I wanted to create it and make sure it was destructive, I literally hit Command J on this, and it actually becomes a vocal that I can no longer stretch, but I definitely don't want that. So I'm going to undo that. And if it allows me to undo it. No. There you go. Brought it back. Took a couple undos, but it worked. And yeah, so then you keep going through, getting rid of any spaces and pauses you need. And once you get to the point where I'm at, you can kind of just look at a vocal and know what parts you want and what parts you don't want. But what I'm going to do is do this, and then I'm going to show you guys what the final audio sounds like. So yeah, I went through, edited all the audio, cut out any of the parts I didn't want, left everything I did some fades. I didn't do fades on all of them because I didn't think it fully needed it, but if I want to add them in, I can when I listen to it. So what I would do is listen to the vocal on its own, make sure it's good, and then from that point on, when I think it's good, move forward and hearing how it sounds in the mix.
Bloodline ਵਿੱਚ ਆਣ ਖਾਣੇ ਦੁਨੀਆ ਅਸੀਂ ਯਾਰਾਂ ਨਾਲ ਕੂਲ ਰਹਿਣ ਵਾਲਿਆ ਯਾਰਾਂ ਨਾਲ ਕੂਲ ਰਹਿਣ ਵਾਲਿਆ ਅੱਗ ਵਾਂਗੂ ਬਲਦੇ ਆ ਵੈਰ ਬੱਲਿਆ ਜੱਟ ਆਪਣੇ ਮੂਡ ਤੇ ਚੱਲਦਾ ਸਾਡੇ ਮੂਡ ਤੇ ਚੱਲਿਆ ਤੇਰਾ ਸ਼ਹਿਰ ਬੱਲਿਆ ਜੱਟ ਆਪਣੇ ਮੂਡ ਤੇ ਚੱਲਦਾ ਸਾਡੇ ਮੂਡ ਤੇ ਚੱਲਿਆ ਤੇਰਾ ਸ਼ਹਿਰ ਬੱਲਿਆ
And that is the entire vocal pretty much cleaned up so it's ready for mixing. And I'm sure you guys heard some parts in there which weren't fully timed and in place, and that's on purpose because we're going to be going into explaining how to line up all the vocals and all that stuff very shortly. So yeah, I hope that was a great video for you guys, where you guys learned how to clean up the audio, get it prepped, ready for mixing. It's an important step. It's one that usually doesn't take place, and usually it's a mixing engineer's job, when I don't think it should be, but it usually ends up being a mixing engineer's job to get rid of all that stuff. But that prep process is really important, because once you start mixing down the vocals, those breath pauses and that air noise, it all becomes much more noticeable in a final mix once all the compressors, EQs, and all that stuff are taking place on it. So it's always a good base to get used to cleaning up the vocals and making sure that all the breath pauses or room tone noise or any of that stuff is taken care of. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. Please like, comment, subscribe, hit that little bell for future notifications. And until next time, see you guys soon.